We're live, guys. What's up? It's Brandon Michael here, your host for the Hawkast podcast. I'm super excited because today we've got the NFL draft, and I've got a very special guest. I've got my sports editor at the Valencia Voice College newspaper, news station, whatever you want to call it. I've got my man, Nate. Nate, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
So yeah, my name's Nate, New York Giants fan, sports editor, and I'll be going to University of Central Florida to major in communications or journalism.
Cool, exactly. Nate and I, we've covered University of Central Florida games together, the Pro Bowl together, the Orlando Magic. We've done a lot of stuff together. So Nate and I, we should have some chemistry here, right, Nate? To be able to.
Oh, we'll see. To be determined.
We'll see for sure. I'm super excited though. So guys, I don't want to waste too much of your time. This should be a little bit longer of a video since we're going through all 32 teams. But let's go ahead and jump in. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, Nate. Is there anything that is going to stop Cincinnati from drafting Joe Burrow?
Nope.
I agree. Number one overall pick goes to Joe Burrow. Let's move on to number 2. The Washington Redskins are on the clock right now. Is Chase Young going to go to the Washington Redskins?
I believe so. That should be a no-brainer for Washington.
No-brainer, exactly. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because Detroit has been shopping that number 3 overall pick. Obviously, there are rumors that they're going to draft Jeffrey Okudah, but like I said, there are reports that came out about an hour ago that said they've been in discussions with the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins to maybe trade back a couple of picks down. Do you think that trade happens, or do you think they're sticking and they're going to draft Jeffrey Okudah?
Oh, man. I think as of right now, I think the deal would have been done already. So I think for now they're going to stay.
So you think, okay, perfect. I agree with you. I think Okudah is that's their man right now. I think it's a smarter pick to go with Isaiah Simmons because you already just got Desmond Trufant from the Atlanta Falcons, and your linebacking core is atrocious. I think Isaiah Simmons would be the smarter pick, but it's kind of hard to pass up Jeffrey Okudah. I think that's a good pick for them also. Let's go ahead and go with Jeffrey Okudah at number 3. Number 4, your New York Giants, man. What's going on with them? Is Dave Gettleman going to make the move and draft an offensive tackle, or are y'all going to go somewhere else like Isaiah Simmons? What do you think? I'm going to let you go ahead. This is your team, so I want you to go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Jedrick Wills, okay. I'll roll with that too. I think that's a smart pick. Moving on to number 5. Tank for Tua. Was it for real? Are the Miami Dolphins going to go ahead and draft Tua Tagovailoa? Or if you think there is a trade that's going to happen, go ahead and let me know too.
I think the Dolphins are going to draft Justin Herbert. I think that's their guy.
Are you for real?
Dead serious.
Wow. Okay. I disagree. I think they go Tua Tagovailoa, but let me just hear your reasoning. If we disagree on a pick, I just want to hear your reasoning.
So there's been a lot of linking of between the Dolphins and Herbert dating back to last year. They did a lot. They scouted him heavily, but then he decided to stay in school. He comes back this season. He had a good season. It wasn't, top quarterback in the draft kind of season, but he was solid. And, Steve Ross and Dan Marino have also been angling for the Dolphins to take him. And they're from New England. They want guys who are big quarterbacks who can throw downfield. And Justin Herbert fits that mold. And they won't have to start him right away. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they can groom Herbert and let him go when he's ready.
So you think 100%? The reason why I think it's Tua, I think this was Miami's plan for a while. I think Tua Tagovailoa was on their draft list for a long time. Obviously, Justin Herbert is a guy, like you said, that has been linked to the Miami Dolphins. I even think this is a position here where maybe Miami wants to trade back a little bit or trade forward. It depends on. I don't know if they stay at number 5. Maybe they want to get a clutch for more picks, or maybe they feel like they need to trade up if they want to go ahead and draft that offensive tackle, maybe, because they were linked to that earlier too. Miami has a lot of holes, obviously. Devontae Parker's on the top of their list in terms of wide receiver. Alan Hearns, they do have Alan Hearns. Albert Wilson at wide receiver, someone who can't stay healthy. Running back was kind of an issue until they got Jordan Howard in free agency. But overall, their offensive line's kind of suspect. That's why we were thinking earlier that Miami – yeah, we 100% thought that maybe they could trade up to that number 3 spot and get that offensive tackle, which makes sense. It's pretty atrocious. So I think, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, Nate. You're my guest, and I'll give you the veto. Even though I do think Miami will go with Tua Tagovailoa, I'll give you Justin Herbert to be nice. There you go. Miami selects Justin Herbert. Now we're going on to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now at this point, if Tua drops any farther than the Los Angeles Chargers, we need to have a conversation. Who do you think the Chargers are going with?
Yeah, I think they're going. Oh God, I saw something Tom Telesco like he really values durability, and
Hmm.
that's not something Tua has been. But I
Are you
just
going?
think the allure of drafting Tua is going to be too much. I think they take him.
So you don't think that maybe that Jordan Love link is still there? Maybe a little bit. No.
Well, I think it could. So obviously, if they go Tua here, it's not real. But they could go offensive tackle, then try to trade back into the first round to get Jordan Love. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that. But I just think that, Tua, he's going to sell tickets. They need to do that in Los Angeles. And I just think it's too perfect of a fit.
Okay. So I think obviously you could flip flop those picks. Either it's Tua to the Dolphins and Herbert to the Chargers, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick. I think Tagovailoa has to go at this point. So we're gonna go with Tua to the Chargers. Moving on, let's go to the Carolina Panthers at pick 7. Now this is where it gets a little interesting because before all this Isaiah Simmons to the Isaiah Simmons situation was gonna drop, I thought the Carolina Panthers were gonna go ahead and sign Derek Brown. Draft Derek Brown, but if Isaiah Simmons falls to number 7, is this a situation where maybe you could switch out and replace Luke Kuechly with Isaiah Simmons?
It could be, but they're so thin at defensive tackle right now. I think they have to go Derek Brown.
So 100%, that was my pick earlier. I'm 100% going. I could go with you with that pick. You want to go ahead and pick Derek Brown at number 7? Okay, this was a guy that had Derek Brown going to Carolina a long time ago before the Isaiah Simmons news dropped that probably New York was going to go ahead and draft the offensive tackle. So I'm perfectly okay with doing that. Let's go ahead and draft Derek Brown. Moving on, we're going to go to the Arizona Cardinals at number 8. Now, Kyler Murray has been pushing the front office to draft CeeDee Lamb, even though they just got DeAndre Hopkins. They have Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald. They have D-Hop, of course. Do you think this is a pick that's going to happen, or do you think they have to go ahead, protect Kyler Murray, maybe draft the offensive lineman because he was hit one too many times? What do you think is going to happen?
Ooh. I think they're a trade down candidate as well. I would be surprised if the Falcons came up here. I wouldn't be surprised if they went Isaiah Simmons as well. They've been linked to him. They really like him. I think that would. I mean, you're playing the 49ers are in your division. You need to stop their running game. You need someone that can cover George Kittle, and Simmons can come in from day one and be that guy. I think I would go Isaiah Simmons.
I think Isaiah Simmons is a great pick too. Their linebacking core is absolutely torn up. It's not. Like atrocious. I said atrocious twice already, but it's bad. Their
Yeah,
linebacking core is bad. Isaiah Simmons drops this far. It's kind of hard to pass him up. I think they could trade down too. I think this is a situation where Arizona could. This is a good spot for Atlanta to come in and take the number 8 spot. But I think it's too hard to pass up Isaiah Simmons at number 8. If Simmons drops to number 8, there's no way Cardinals could trade down. In my opinion, that's just talent they can't pass up on. So Isaiah Simmons, final pick.
Yes, that would be my pick.
All right, I agree. Moving on to number 9, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who maybe are tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Tanking for Trevor, maybe that'll be the new phrase. We don't really know what's happening with Jacksonville right now. They say Gardner Minshew is the guy. Obviously, there are some quarterbacks still left on the board. They need an offensive tackle. They're going to need a guy who's going to replace Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell. They have a lot of holes right now. Where do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars go in this situation?
I think they will go C.J. Henderson,
And why?
cornerback. C.J. Henderson.
I say, why is that? Why do you think they go?
Oh, well, they got rid of. I mean, they don't have Jalen Ramsey. They don't have A.J. Bouye. That's probably the most glaring hole, and he can step in, and he won't be as good as either of them from day one, but he can be that. I mean, the cornerstone that they need for the defense as they try to rebuild it.
Okay, and you think that there's any situation that they go ahead and draft offensive tackle in this situation because they are lacking in the tackle position?
I wouldn't be surprised with that either. I mean, they're both really big holes, but I mean, there's been a lot of buzz about Henderson going in the top 10, and I think the Jaguars will be the team that takes him.
Yeah, Jacksonville has DJ Hayden, and he's the best corner in their lineup right now. Obviously, they're lacking in that position. I could definitely see them drafting a defensive lineman, but they do have Josh Allen, who's going to be able to step up this year, and I think that's another sleeper for Jacksonville. So maybe defensive end isn't their biggest need, or interior lineman is not their biggest need. They could definitely go with a cornerback, and I 100% agree with you. C.J. Anderson is one of the best corners in the draft, might be the best corner in this draft. I think it's a good pick. I'm cool with it if you are.
Yeah.
Let's do it, dude. So C.J. Henderson ends up in Jacksonville. Let's go ahead and move on to Cleveland. Now, Cleveland's an interesting situation because Cleveland does have a lot of holes, but doesn't have a lot of holes. It's almost like they have the big names, but are they staying? Who's leaving? Is OBJ even going to be on the team, starting off next season? So where do you think, at the end of the day, where do you think Cleveland's going to end up drafting? Excuse me.
I think they're going to trade back.
Trade back.
I think they're going to trade back. I mean, that's the analytics. Like, I guess that's their viewpoint, whether you agree with it or not. But they want to get more picks, and I think that's what they'll do. I wouldn't be surprised if this is where Miami trades up to get an offensive tackle, or maybe Tampa Bay. I think.
Okay.
I feel pretty good about a tackle going here, even if Cleveland does stay.
Yeah. Do you want to do our first trade of the draft right now? You want to do it, Nate?
Sure.
So you want to do – okay, so this is the thing. We could either do Atlanta is an opportunity. Miami is an option. I think those are probably two likely options right now. The most realistic options right now. Where do you think? You think either Atlanta, or do you think Miami, or who?
I would go Miami. I think the Falcons only trade up if C.J. Henderson's still on the board.
Okay. And so who do you think – excuse me real quick. So what do you think they'll end up trading for?
I think they'll trade for Tristan Wirfs.
So wait, okay, break that down real quick. So who's getting who? Say which team trades and say which team is like the picks.
Miami trades up from 18 to 10.
Okay.
And then they take Tristan Wirfs. Miami takes Tristan Wirfs at 10.
Okay. Here, let me go ahead and put that in. 1 second, guys. Just almost lost it for a sec. When you're doing these trades online, they kind of get complicating. So Cleveland trades with Miami. They swap picks, and then a bunch later picks. We don't even have to discuss that.
Yeah, right? I think it would probably be for a third or something like that.
Cool. Okay. So we're down to Miami, and you think they take Tristan Wirfs?
Yes.
Cool. Now, we're coming on to the New York Jets at number 11. Now, the New York Jets have a lot of holes, but wide receiver is a hole that needs to be fixed now. They're not in the age of Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, and Jermaine Kearse being on the team no more. All those guys are gone, and they got to refresh. They got to reload. Do you think they go ahead and pull the trigger on, one of the bigger guys like Judy or Lamb?
It doesn't matter how many weapons you have if you can't protect your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they go offensive line. I think they go – I would go Andrew Thomas, left tackle. Okay.
Andrew Thomas?
Yeah, and there's a lot of wide receivers that are going to be there in the second round too.
Okay, I'm cool with that, dude. Yeah, I'm following whatever you're doing, dude. So if you want to go Andrew Thomas, so you do not think wide receiver is the position they're going to address right now?
Not right now. In the second, third round, definitely they'll address that.
I'll tell you why I'm okay with that, because even though I do think the loss of Robbie Anderson kind of puts the Jets in a situation where, look, we got to start addressing this wide receiver thing because Jamison Crowder by himself is not going to fix the whole problem. I think looking at the bigger aspect of the whole wide receiver group, it's so deep. You've got so much depth that you could go ahead and look later on in this draft and find solid guys that are going to be able to play that number 2. So, yeah, I think Andrew Thomas is an option that New York could definitely go with. You got to protect Sam Darnold. If he's your franchise quarterback, you got to protect him just to see if he's able to, take over, the franchise quarterback role. So, 100%. Let's go with Andrew Thomas. Moving on to the Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me.
Las Vegas.
I'm still getting used to that.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I know. Las Vegas is in a situation where, yes, they need a wide receiver, but there are also some situations safety is, starting to become an issue. They've got they obviously need a very, very solid pass rusher. That's why I was thinking Caleb Chison was an option. But what do you think? Cornerback, their defense needs some work. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I could see There's no cornerback I would take here. They need weapons as well. They've been linked to Henry Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy. God, I think I would go Jerry Jeudy.
So Jerry Jeudy.
Hmm.
You got Tyler Williams on your team. You got Nelson Aguilar. You think you're going to go ahead and get a third wide receiver and get Jerry Jeudy. That's your selection?
Hmm.
Okay. I think so, too. I think this is a good pick. Jerry Jeudy, please stay away from San Francisco. Thank you very much. Jeudy falls into Oakland's lap, but now we're in San Francisco, and there's a big name called CeeDee Lamb left on the board. San Francisco has Deebo Samuel left on their team. Kendrick Bourne is obviously, starting to produce a little bit more, but isn't their guy. Obviously, he's a good number 3. Emmanuel Sanders leaves the team. Are you in a position that you have to take CeeDee Lamb or Henry Ruggs?
Ooh, I think they would go. I would go. Ooh, I think you could go either one, man. It's like they both fit well. CeeDee Lamb good as far as running after the catch. I mean, they're both great. I think Henry Ruggs' speed might be the difference, though, for who the 49ers pick. I mean, they wouldn't be wrong either way. They're both great.
So you think Ruggs?
I would go Ruggs.
Ruggs, I 100% agree with that, mostly because I don't want to face CeeDee Lamb every year. So let's go ahead and go with Henry Ruggs, just so I could sleep better at night, and let's go ahead and pick him. And now we're down to Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay has Tom Brady. Their running game is extremely suspect. They've got to look overall at their defense. Their defense is suspect. They got to find a replacement for Ndamukong Suh because if Vita Vea goes down, they've literally got no one else behind them.
I
They've got
thought
a lot
Sue resigned with them.
Huh?
Sue resigned with them.
No, I'm saying Ndamukong Suh doesn't have much time. Like, he's getting older. So they got to, find a replacement. So you've got to look at – they've got a lot of holes. Where do you think the Buccaneers are going? Do they need a tackle to protect Tom Brady?
I would go Mekhi Becton here.
100% Mekhi Becton?
You need to protect Brady.
I agree with that, too. I think you can't go better than Mekhi Becton in this situation. Let's go ahead and select Mekhi Becton. Moving on, let's go to Denver. So Denver's in the situation where they also need a wide receiver also. CeeDee Lamb is still on the board. Cornerback is also an issue because even though A.J. Boye did come to the team, A.J. Boye is not the same. So where do you think they go in this situation?
I think they go CeeDee Lamb here.
CeeDee Lamb, I 100% agree. That was a quick one. Atlanta's at 16. Atlanta could not get the pick that they wanted. They couldn't trade up. Dan Quinn did fail this one. The whole front office failed this one. Where do you think Atlanta goes? Because Atlanta has a lot of issues too. Cornerback seems like their biggest need, especially after losing Desmond Trufant. And they tried earlier to try and trade up, maybe to acquire C.J. Henderson. It's obvious that they have a cornerback in their eyes.
Yeah, there's no cornerback here. I mean, if they wanted to trade back, then maybe get someone like A.J. Terrell or Christian Fulton or Trevon Diggs. But I wouldn't take it. I would take them maybe in the 20s. In this situation, I think I would go Caleb Chase on.
So you're going to go Caleb Chase on?
Mm-hmm.
You think – so you think the Falcons' D-line needs some help even after the signing of Dante Fowler?
Well, they still need someone opposite of him. McKinley hasn't exactly been getting it done. You have a Grady Jarrett in the middle, so I wouldn't go – they could go Javon Kinlaw. That'd still be a good pick. But I think they need another edge rusher.
So do you think that DeMonte Kazi and what's their strong safety name? Ricardo Allen, DeMonte Kazi and Ricardo Allen. You think those guys are the solution to how the Atlanta defense?
They aren't, but there's no – if they want to trade back into the 20s with a team that needs a interior defensive lineman or pass rusher or another team that wants a wide receiver, then maybe. But there's no – it's tough. I would go best player available on defense here.
Okay. I'm cool with that. We'll go with Caleb Bond. Cool. Yeah, I think at that point, Atlanta could go with anyone. I think they do need a safety. I was thinking more of Xavier McKinney, but like I said, Nate, you're the guest, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna roll with
If you want to veto, if you feel strong enough about a different pick, you can.
It's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool because it's mostly because I like Caleb on. I'm a Seahawks fan. I was just praying he dropped somehow, but it's okay, man. We'll roll with your Caleb on here. Let's go ahead and move to the Dallas Cowboys, who I honestly think that Xavier McKinney would be the smartest move in this situation, but you might think differently. What do you think?
I think I would go McKinney here.
So you agree with the McKinney pick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought McKinney for a while. Obviously, they had Xavier Woods, but they did sign HaHa Clinton Dick, so that was kind of steering me away from McKinney for a while. But I think it's almost a situation where McKinney is too good to pass up. It's just one of those situations. They don't have too many holes in their defense and
Yeah.
too many holes on their offense. Maybe cornerback is a situation where you might want to address if you're Dallas, if you don't want to address safety, but you're not in a situation right now at the 17th pick to draft a corner unless you want to reach a little bit.
Yeah,
So maybe Xavier
I
Kinney.
totally agree.
Yeah. So even though the Cowboys have solid safeties, it's almost a situation where, like Seattle, we have some solid safeties, but I think if there was a guy like McKinney to pop up into our draft board or like an Antoine Winfield, it'd be hard to pick him up. I think the Cowboys go with him. Let's go ahead and select McKinney. And let's go ahead and let's go to I almost said Miami. Cleveland. Now Cleveland's at number 18 after making a trade. Is this a situation now where they start looking at some of their holes, or do you think they trade back again?
If I'm them, I would take Patrick Queen here.
Okay, and why is that? You lose my boy Joey.
Well, they need linebackers like really bad, and Patrick Queen's athleticism makes him like he would step in at day one at middle linebacker and improve that linebacking corps immediately.
Okay. Patrick Queen, welcome to the team. I'm cool with that. I'm cool, Nate. Let's go ahead and go to pick 19. The Las Vegas Raiders pop up again. This is a situation where they could add another big piece to their puzzle. Where are they going with, in your opinion?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little chaotic here. What if they take Jordan Love here? I wouldn't be surprised. If they did.
You think they go with Love?
I think they would have a tough time passing on him and his potential if he's here.
So who did Oakland draft earlier? Jerry Jeudy? Is that who we said?
Yep.
So you think they go Jeudy and then they go ahead and pick up Jordan Love?
Yeah, I think
one sec, Nate.
They need help on defense too, though. It's
100%. 100%.
Quarterback is so important.
100%. You keep talking. I gotta plug this in so this doesn't die. Sorry, guys. You tell me why. I could hear you. Why Jordan Love is the option over any of the other quarterbacks for the Oakland Raiders?
Well, Jordan Love has a ton of potential, and he wouldn't have to start right away. You have Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota who could start this year, but I don't think either guy is going to lead the Raiders into the playoffs and on a deep playoff run. So I think Jordan Love's potential, and John Gruden loves his quarterbacks, pun intended. So he'll take Jordan Love, have him sit for a year, and then hand him the reins in 2021.
All right, I'm locking it in. Jordan Love. If I can find Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love dropped so much at this point, this draft board doesn't even have it.
Jesus Christ.
Dang. The Draft Network, where y'all putting Love? Okay, Jordan Love. Okay. Jordan Love. Now we can move on to that Jacksonville pick. Okay, so now Jacksonville is at number 20. What do you think happens with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Nate?
Javon Kinlaw.
100%? You're excited.
You slide him right where Calais Campbell is playing.
Okay. Let's go Javon Kinlaw. Deal. Guys, I'm having some malfunctions right here. I'm so sorry. So, Nate, you're going to have to take over real quick in terms of speaking. I'm sorry. Light fell down. Computer almost died. We are good to go. Javon Kinlaw. Let's go ahead, guys, and pick Javon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Moving on. Something happened? NFL news?
Looks like the Giants are comfortable trading down because they have similar grades on Tristan Wirfs, Andrew Thomas, and Mekhi Becton. So
wow, that's big. I guess we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I think we might get a trade during the draft. I don't know, but we'll just stick with what we got right now. Let's go ahead and move on. Huh?
It's such a risk given how different everything is.
Oh, yeah. For sure. It is a risk. And I'm super interested to see what they could do. Hopefully y'all stick to your guns and, pick the right player. And because, I know you New York Giants fans have to go. You guys have to go through a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia's at 21, obviously one of the best offensive lines in the league. Their cornerback issue was solved because I thought last year's cornerback issue was absolutely atrocious. They traded for Darius Slay, Nicole Roby-Coleman from the Rams. They fixed that spot. But now we start to look towards the wide receiver spot. Excuse me. And obviously you have Alshon Jeffrey, you have Deshaun Jackson. Greg Ward showed up a lot last year. But I still think wide receiver is a position where you have Shaw Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey who aren't getting any younger, right? So you've got to start thinking ahead. Greg Ward is your slot receiver for this year, or is going to be your slot receiver, but you still want another guy that's going to be able to come in there and play, because we already know one of those guys. I don't want to no bad luck to you guys Philly fans, but Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey have some injury problems. They have injury history. I do think they're going to draft a wide receiver here. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I think I'll go Justin Jefferson here.
I was thinking the same thing from LSU. Let's go ahead and draft Justin Jefferson here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Good pick. Obviously, Philadelphia has a few holes. I think linebacker is another big hole, but I think it's one of those situations where do you want to go with like a Kenneth Murray, or do you want to go ahead and draft Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went Kenneth Murray.
Yeah, 100%. So let's just go ahead with Justin Jefferson. We'll move on from here. All right, moving on to Minnesota. Minnesota's at number 22. They've got 2 first-round picks. They've got a pick just in a couple of picks after their 22nd. So where do you think Minnesota goes? Because Minnesota obviously needs a cornerback. They had a big hole already with Xavier Rhodes. Now Xavier Rhodes is gone. Now you got to start looking towards the future. I thought they were going to go with someone like Trevon Diggs to pair the Diggs brothers together, but now Stephon is gone, so that's not even in the question. Who do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough sell.
Yeah. Where do you think Minnesota goes at the 22nd pick?
Ooh. I think they'll go AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. Why do you think that?
I think even though he got torched by Jamar Chase in the national championship game, I mean, everyone had trouble with him. He's going to be the first wide receiver taken next year. I think he's a good fit. He's good. He's a good man-to-man corner. He can do everything. You know, he did. I'm kind of stuttering over my words, but yeah, I think he's a good fit for the Vikings.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's go ahead and lock that in. AJ Terrell. Now we're moving on to New England Patriots. Do you see New England trading down from here?
No, I think they have a lot of third-round picks too. So if anything, they might go up. Maybe.
You think they could trade up?
Possibly.
Okay, I mean, let's go ahead and just look at, what are some holes, because it's super hard to just look at New England and be like, what are some holes? Obviously, I think their biggest hole is quarterback and wide receiver, 2 offensive positions that they need to address, but they like Jared Stidham. We've already discussed that. Jared Stidham, they like him, so let's just throw on quarterback. Wide receiver might be a problem for them because N'Keal Harry wasn't producing last year. Julian Edelman has injury problems, is getting older, and Mohamed Sanu wasn't the trade that you thought it was going to be when you traded him from Atlanta for that second-round pick. So, what do you think is going to happen for the New England Patriots? Do you think they select a wide receiver here at number 20? Was it 23? Number 23. Or do you think something happens? They trade down. They go out of the blue and draft someone else. This is the thing, though. Bill Belichick doesn't draft wide receivers in the first round. So that's like one thing you gotta like when they drafted N'Keal Harry last year, I was super surprised. I was like, wow, that's like a big statement. And the one time they did use their first round pick on a wide receiver, he didn't produce last year. Do you think Belichick makes that mistake again, or do you kind of look around and be like, you know what, maybe defensive line is someone we need to go with, or something like that? What do you think? I was thinking like Gross Matos was almost a perfect fit for New England, even though he does struggle with their formation or their scheme. I think Bill Belichick will find a way to use him. What do you think?
I think they would go Zach Bond here because he could slide in right where Cal Van Noy played.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think they need a D lineman, and whether it's Matos or Bond, it's going to be someone. I'm cool with Zach Bond for sure. Okay, so let's move on to the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints, I think if Jordan Love was there for the taking, they would have pulled the trigger. But at this point, there's no quarterback at number 24. They've got a couple of needs. Obviously, I think they need that 1-2 punch back that he had with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Latavius Murray didn't work. It didn't work out for them. So maybe they go ahead and draft a running back here. Maybe they draft a linebacker with Kenneth Murray with that 24th pick. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going Jonathan Taylor. That would be my pick.
Wow. So you think they go JT, and why is that?
When they had Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, they had the eighth best rushing. They were the eighth best rushing team in the NFL. Then Mark Ingram goes to the Ravens, and Kamara has some injury problems, and they dropped all the way to 16th. They need to get Drew Brees more help, and Jonathan Taylor would be just that.
So I think New Orleans, one of their biggest problems is linebacker. I think Kenneth Murray would have fit perfect with them, but I do agree with that. You need a running back to help Alvin Kamara out. I think they're looking more to fix that offensive problem just because you're looking at, hey, Drew Brees isn't getting any younger. You want to give him as many weapons as possible. Wide receiver is also a position where I think they could draft a little bit later, maybe the second round. They have Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Chacon Smith, I think, is that guy's name? The third wide
receiver. Smith, yeah.
Chacon Smith, yeah. So maybe they look to add more weapons. Jonathan Taylor, okay, let's go with him. I do think Kenneth Murray is an option for them, but Jonathan Taylor, let's go ahead and move on with Jonathan Taylor. All right, let's go back to Minnesota, who has a 25th pick here. Now, Minnesota has a chance to fix a lot of problems. Wide receiver is an issue. Edge rusher is an issue after losing Everson Griffin. Where do you think they kind of go with this situation?
I think they would go Yetur Gross-Matos here.
I think that's a big opportunity for them to take him. I think this is a position where Everson Griffin is not going to come back, so you draft a guy that's going to be able to come in and plug and play 100%. Let's go with Matos. All right, now let's go to the 26th pick with the Miami Dolphins. What do you think Miami does here? Obviously, they still need that offensive tackle. There's still guys, there's still like Austin Jackson left. They still have a couple of picks. Where do you think they go in this situation?
Well, they took Andrew. We gave them Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, Tristan Wirfs. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
They could double up on offensive line. I mean, it's that bad. I think they
need a lot of holes. Honestly, any pick of this position is going to help them out.
Yeah.
They need interior. I mean, they need a safety because they did lose Rashad Jones. They did lose him, right? Or am I losing my mind?
I think they're trying to get or did they cut him? Man,
I think he doesn't play for them anymore.
Yeah.
Either way, that man's old. Right now. Either way, they need a linebacker. Kenneth Murray's always they have Raekwon McMillan, but whoever that other guy is, I don't even know what that guy's name is. He's suspect.
I'm leaning towards Kenneth Murray because he can be like the Jamie Collins in that scheme.
I 100% agree. I think Kenneth Murray's a good a pick for them. I think obviously they have a lot of holes, but Kenneth Murray does fill a big hole. He'll play next to Raekwon. I think that would be a great pick for them. Let's go Kenneth Murray, if I can found him. Boom. Now, we're at 27. This is the big pick for me. Let me tell you what. Who's left? I don't even know who's left. Grant Delpit's left. DeAndre Swift is left. Josh Jones, tackle position we could address. Wide receivers. There's some wide receivers here. Antoine Winfield, AJ Epineza. I want to be honest with you. I think we trade out. I think we trade out the first round. But I know we have a lot of Seahawks fans here that are going to – I don't want them to sit through this whole video and be like, I watched this whole video just for us to trade down.
Trade out now.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this, we're trading out of the first round. I'm just letting you know right now. If you're watching this and we don't trade out, then hallelujah. Then not hallelujah. If there's someone that falls, none of these guys right now that are left on the board, I want to trade down. I want to trade down because none of these guys make me happy. Unless it's somehow Xavier McKinney or Kayvon Chaisson, I want to trade down. So I'm just letting you know I want to trade down at this point. But I want to make it more interesting for you guys. So let's go ahead and pick who we think is going to land in the Seattle uniform. Epenenza's there, Nate. Austin Jackson's there. Antoine Winfield. I want to pick Antoine Winfield, but I don't think that happens at 27. Let me just hear some of your insight before I give you my opinion, because I do have a guy in mind here.
Yeah, I think Winfield's a good pick here. I also think you guys need another pass rusher, especially if you're not going to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. So that's where AJ Epinesa would fit really well. Those are the two I'd be picking between if I were you guys.
Yeah, I think Antoine Winfield is a guy that we have Quandre Diggs, but Bradley McDougald, he's on his last year of his contract. I don't know if he signs back. He's due to make $5 million this year. Marquise Blair is a good player, but it's obvious that our safeties and our cornerback positions, they weren't addressed, and that meant we were going to lose games, and it did happen last year. We didn't address those positions, and we lost games. We got Quentin Dunbar by trading with the Washington Redskins. Now we're looking at a situation we're looking at a situation where, hey, we could get Antoine Winfield and he could replace whoever, whether that's Bradley McDougald or whoever.
Mhm.
He's been compared to Earl Thomas. I like that a lot. I like that. He had 7 interceptions in Minnesota. I like Antoine Winfield a lot. I'm going to go contrarian. I want to go Antoine Winfield. Even though AJ Epineza could be a guy we draft too, I want to go Antoine Winfield just because I like him a lot. A lot of Seahawks fans are going to yell at me right now. I can already see it. But it's just I want to rebuild that Legion of Boom, man. And I think Antoine Winfield step one towards that. I don't think Epineza weak. I like Epineza, but come on, Nate. Let's go. I don't want to go chalky right now. I want to go with the guy that no one's going to expect. I think that's Antoine Winfield. Let's do it. Moving on to pick number 28, let's go to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore has not as many holes as a lot of the other teams. I think wide receiver is a position that they could start to look at. A linebacker, I'm just looking at some of their rosters. I mean, some of the players on their roster. But what do you think? Where do you think they go with?
I think they will go. I think they can go AJ Epinesa.
Okay.
They were going to sign Michael Brockers on the defensive line, but that obviously fell through. So I think they signed Epinesa to take that spot.
And you think Judon leaves?
I'm not sure. I mean, it could work with Judon, Calais Campbell, AJ Epinesa.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm cool. AJ Epinesa. Let's go.
I mean, he could replace Judon if they trade him too.
Yeah.
You have a defensive line of all 3. That's still really good.
100%. Moving on to number 29, we have the Tennessee Titans. Where do you think the Tennessee Titans go?
I think they take – I think they go corner here.
And why is that? You don't think – I think their corners are good. They got Adoree Jackson. They got Malcolm Butler. You don't think –
I mean, they can improve. I mean, like, you're in the AFC. You need to play, Patrick Mahomes. And there's – that's who you have to get by. And you can never have too many corners.
Okay.
Which is plus with Mike Vrabel and being the coach, he comes from New England, and they invest a lot in the secondary.
100%. I agree. Okay, yeah. We can go with the corner. Who do you think is the best fit for them? You think it's going to be Fulton? You think it's going to be Diggs? Who?
I think I'll go Fulton.
Okay, let's go Christian Fulton then. I'm cool with that. I ain't going to hate on it. Let's go Fulton. Number 30, we got the Green Bay Packers. This is coming down to the last few picks. Green Bay had a wide receiver problem, but they signed Devin Funchess, so that kind of helped them out a little bit. But I still think you got to give Aaron Rodgers weapons and an opportunity to win games. What do you think happens?
I would go KJ Hamler here.
Okay, so you want a burner.
Mm-hmm.
So you got KJ Hamler, and you think he pairs up with Devontae Adams, Devin Funchess, and you think that's a good draft pick? Or do you think – is this a draft pick that Green Bay should do or Green Bay will do? What do you think?
I think they should do it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers needs help. He's on the back 9 of his career. We have Funchess, who's good with the 50-50 balls. You have Devontae Adams, who's a great route runner. And now you get your burner downfield. Okay,
so KJ Hamler from Penn State. Let's lock that in. Now we're back to if KJ Hamler, if you want to, it looks like he doesn't want to go to Green Bay. Okay, never mind. Yes, he wants to go to Green Bay. Now let's go to pick 31 where we got the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the 49ers I think they need a corner. And that's just my opinion. I think this is a perfect situation. You grab a wide receiver corner in the draft, and you could go ahead and roll with that. Or you could go ahead and draft a defensive tackle to fill in that spot for DeForest Buckner. What do you think? I had a hiccup mid-sentence. What do you think?
I think they need to trade back here.
Wow. You think they're going to trade back?
They don't have any picks until the 5th round after this.
Okay. Who do you think trades with them?
I think the Colts, they've already built up, they've worked together before on the DeForest Buckner trade. I think they trade up here.
I'm cool with that. Yeah. Okay, let's do Colts. So you think they do back-to-back trades?
Yeah.
So you don't think that maybe Miami tries to trade up and snatch a weapon?
They could, but I don't. Yeah, they also have 2 second-round picks. I think the Colts in their previous they've worked together before. I think that'll maybe.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So Colts have the pick 31st because we're not going to get into the trade details. We'll be here all day. Yeah. What do you think the Colts get at number 31?
I think they could. Oh, I should have thought this through. They could be the wide receiver too. I wouldn't
hate on that.
Let's go. Jeez. Let's go Denzel Mims.
You want to go Denzel Mims?
Hmm.
Now, Denzel Mims will join T.Y. Hilton and Zach Pascal. You think that's they just signed Trey Burton today, so you think wide receiver is the biggest hole?
They also need more difference makers on defense too. I don't know. Who do you think they could
I
go
was
on
thinking
defense?
defense. I was thinking safety, in my opinion, but they did get Xavier Rhodes, so I was like, maybe not. So, I mean, wait, did I say safety? Corner. They need a corner. Excuse me.
And
I think,
supposedly they're trying to trade Malik Hooker.
yeah, that's crazy. They might need a new free safety then. There's great Delpit. Is Delpit a strong safety or a free safety?
He's a free safety, but he didn't live up to the billing this season. I wouldn't take him in the first round.
Okay, you want to go? You want to go wide receiver?
Yeah, I think that's the best move here.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll with Denzel Mims. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the last pick of the draft. The Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, pick 32. They need a cornerback. They could use a running back. They have issues. They have small issues, but Patrick Mahomes kind of, camouflaged those issues. He kind of hid it away with his talent. Where do you think they could go in this situation?
Ooh, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded back too, but I don't feel like wrapping my mind around another trade for another team. So I think they
Okay.
would go. hmm. For me, it's between Trevon Diggs and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Okay.
Those two. I think
And
they would. I think they go defense. So Trevon Diggs.
so you're going to go Trevon Diggs. I think they go defense too. They got to work on that defense. I think Trevon Diggs is a great pick, and I 100% agree with you. The first pick, I finally 100% agree with you, Nate. And let's go ahead and pick Diggs if he is here. Right there, boom, from Alabama. So, finalizing the draft, let's go ahead and just review everyone we just did. So, we had Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati. We had Redskins getting Chase Young. Lions getting Jeffrey Okuda. Giants, Jedrick Wills. Or did I say Willis?
Yeah,
Jedrick
Jedrick
Wills.
Wills. Yeah.
Um, Dolphins get Justin Herbert. Chargers get Tua. Panthers get Derek Brown. Cardinals get Isaiah Simmons. Jaguars get CJ Henderson. Dolphins get Tristan Wirfs. Jets get Andrew Thomas. Raiders get Jerry Jeudy. Niners get Henry Ruggs. Buccaneers get Mekhi Becton. Broncos get CeeDee Lamb. Falcons get Caleb Vaughn. Cowboys get Xavier McKinney. Cleveland gets Patrick Queen. Raiders get Jordan Love. Jaguars get Javon Kinlaw. Eagles get Justin Jefferson. Vikings get AJ Terrell. Patriots get Zach Bond. Saints get Jonathan Taylor. Vikings get Gross Matos. Dolphins get Kenneth Murray. Seahawks get Antoine Winfield. Ravens get AJ Benenza. Titans get Christian Fulton. Packers get KJ Hamler. And Colts get Denzel Mims. And Chiefs get Trevon Diggs.
Yep.
I like that.
That's not. I don't know. I feel iffy about that last 49ers pick, or with the Colts pick. I don't know. I
Denzel
feel like we
Mims.
have to trade up for a wide receiver.
We'll see. I mean, who knows? Who knows? There's going to be trades. I feel like we didn't do enough trades. There's going to be a lot.
We really didn't do enough trades. We agreed to trades and did two.
I know.
It's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah, it's fine though. It's cool. I think we did pretty good for what we were working with, honestly.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Nate? I think we did good.
Yeah, I mean, we agreed to doing this like 30 minutes ago.
Yep, exactly. So I think we did pretty good for doing it like that. AJ Terrell, a bunch of guys. Seahawks fans, like I said, you're going to be mad at me for Antoine Winfield, guys. I just want to go against the grain. Don't be mad at me. We all like the same team. A lot of Seahawks fans get mad at me, Nate, a lot because they don't agree.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Giants fans, if once I get that page right, I'm gonna piss off quite a few of them.
Yeah, we all have our own opinions, and look,
Yeah.
we're all trying to make moves to improve our own team. Okay, I'm not trying to pick Antoine Winfield to screw over the Seahawks. I think that's a pick. I really like Winfield, and I've been high on him for the longest time now. He's my favorite player coming out of the draft. I'm not saying he's the best player, but just style-wise, I really like him. So,
I mean, he's a stud. He just needs to stay healthy.
yeah, for sure. So, guys, that'll be it. I hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. Nate, we definitely got to link up again and do something like this again.
Yeah, if you want to do this a couple times a week, I'm down.
Yeah, 100%, dude. This is fun. And we should definitely do a draft recap, 100%, just to compare ours with what, what actually happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll be fun. So thank you guys for watching, Nate. If you want to say anything, plug your Instagram or whatever, you can go ahead and do that now.
No, it's not quite up and running yet. Maybe next time I'll be able to plug it.
Okay, 100%. But just be on the lookout. Nate's going to have a New York Times page. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Nate, for joining. And the NFL draft is soon, so good luck to your guys' teams, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you.